Is this thing on? Welcome back to Movies TV Mad. Of course, you can follow me on Twitter at Movies TV Mad. We all know that Walter Hamada and WB Pictures have had a plan for the future of the DCEU going forward for quite a while. This was a plan to move away from Zack Snyder's Snyderverse. We know that. Well, I could have a plan for a shop that I owned, but then I sold it. I lost it because it went bankrupt. So the new owners come in and they say, we're not selling cola anymore. But I say, for all these years I've been there, I've always sold cola. They've said, no, it's bad for you. We're not selling it anymore. It's the same rules apply for this merger of WB. The new Warner Discovery is coming. So whatever WB and Hamada have planned for the future of the DCEU could now be thrown out the window. We have seen the Flash movie being delayed. That movie hasn't been delayed for nothing, and we'll find out what all that means in the next few weeks. So we've seen WB Pictures and Hamada green light, green light, green light. Now suddenly they've gone green light shy. That's because nothing will be green lighted until the Discovery merger with AT&T will be ratified, something we discussed earlier today on the DCEU Daily. So they were green lighting for fun, trying to get so much content up there that Discovery will be too difficult for Discovery to do anything about it. Imagine taking down that amount of stuff. And as I say, someone somewhere has made the decision to delay the Flash movie, which meant they had to delay other movies and bring other movies forward. Even Charlie and the Chocolate Factory starring Timothy Chalamet. So very interesting. So their plan to green light like hell hasn't worked. But will Zaslav and Discovery come in and make changes? Or will they go to WB Pictures? As you were, you're doing great. This is the question every fan, every industry insider is asking. And the simple answer is, we simply do not know what Zaslav and Discovery will do. And this is the confusing part of it. But I'll go back to the 7-month delay of the Flash movie. So it's interesting, right? So James Gunn was asked by a fan, when will you announce your next DC project? He said, please give me another 2 weeks. That's an interesting answer. So in a couple of weeks' time, we know, or near to that, this merger between AT&T and Discovery will be ratified, and Discovery and Zaslav will have their feet under that WB table. So what's going to happen then in a few weeks? Will James Gunn's new project be greenlit, and will he announce it? Or will it be a thing where James Gunn hasn't got a position at Warner Brothers? He's not going to be making DC content anymore. Again, we simply don't know, but I'm assuming that Discovery and Zaslav want to make money. That will be a yes. So I would assume James Gunn is staying. Walter Hamada created an almighty coup by going to get James Gunn when he was sacked by Disney temporarily. So let's just say, for argument's sake, that Gunn is staying. What is Gunn's plan with his side of the DC universe? So the Suicide Squad tanked at the box office, but it didn't tank on HBO Max. Huge record-breaking numbers, we know that. Peacemaker, huge record-breaking numbers. Numbers count, subscribers count, sponsorships count. He's a winner for WB and DC, and Zaslav would have seen that. So what is his plan? Suicide Squad. Peacemaker was something he did apparently because he was bored during lockdown. Yeah, right. James, if you didn't do it now, you would have done it after Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3. So this is his plan. Now, there was a rumor from insiders several months ago that Amelia Harcourt, played by James Gunn's wife, who played a small role in the Suicide Squad and a bigger role in Peacemaker, will be cameoing in either at the end of Black Adam or on the Black Adam post-credit scene. So we were actually told what will happen in this sequence. Amelia Harcourt will turn up with Task Force X. We don't know if it's the main team or the team from Peacemaker. We don't know that. And they're going to abduct Black Adam. And as I said before, how the fuck do you abduct him? He's obviously got a weakness that they know of. When I found this out at the time, I thought, well, that's really exciting. And it is. But why are they doing that? Why do they want Black Adam? Because, yeah, it's something maybe Waller could get them to do, but Waller's not a collector. Waller, Amanda Waller is someone who utilizes powerful people when she needs them. So clearly there's a threat coming in James Gunn's DC universe. Now, I brought you my theory on today's DCEU Daily that I believe that James Gunn will write and direct either a Deathstroke miniseries, TV series on streaming via HBO Max, or he'll make a Deathstroke movie starring Joe Manganiello. This is my theory, this is what I believe, and this is why I think Manganiello has been teasing the fuck out of Deathstroke and putting pictures of Deathstroke, his Deathstroke, on his Instagram profile pic. That's what I believe. I strongly believe this. So, what are they going to do with Deathstroke? Well, for me, it's pretty obvious. They're going to do a Deathstroke story here, and probably at the end of that story, maybe Amelia Harcourt, maybe Amanda Waller will approach Deathstroke saying that they need him. Clearly what's going on here, there's going to be a collection of superheroes and supervillains that James Gunn's franchise collects to fight a big fight. Now, whether this threat that's coming is going to be a threat for the entire DCEU, or if it's James Gunn's side of the DCEU, I simply do not know. But I think this is where we're going with this. So we start off with the Suicide Squad, then Peacemaker, then they abduct Black Adam, and then, Deathstroke's part of this team. So I think this is a very, very interesting concept. And again, it's pretty clear, when we look at the Snyderverse and we look at the Hamadaverse, the Hamadaverse's plan is to clean up from Snyder and do something new. That's the idea. So the Flash movie was supposed to create a Flashpoint. I assume Barry Allen will reboot the universe and things will change dramatically. And whoever they don't want to use from the Snyderverse, they won't use that person anymore because they reboot the universe. It's easy to do. Even if people don't vanish and things don't get deleted in the comics, in live action, they can. They can do anything they want with this rebooting of the universe and this Flashpoint storyline. It's quite easy to do. I can't sit here and tell you that I know what's going to change and what's not. So basically, if there was never any Zaslav or Discovery and Warner Brothers Pictures remain like this, making these decisions, fundamentally changing the DCEU and in their opinions trying to fix it forever and go forward, this is what they would do. But here's the reality. There is a Zaslav. There is a Discovery. Now, is he going to tear their plans down, or is he going to come at them with other plans? I think one of the most dangerous things that could happen here is that he allows them to remain in power, but he's constantly saying, right, you're doing this, you're doing that. I don't want a situation where he comes in and says to them, we're restoring the Snyderverse, because it's the same thing as what Stanky did. He told them they were releasing the Snyder Cut. They weren't happy at WB Pictures because they have issues with Snyder. And Snyder has issues with them. There was a civil war while Zack was putting the Snyder Cut together. And Zack told us all about it. Ray told us all about it. We know. The only way you can restore the Snyderverse, you see, you could restore the Snyderverse and continue with the Hamadaverse plan. That is a happy medium, because if you restore the Snyderverse plan, right, but you've got the Hamadaverse plan as well, everyone's happy. But both parties still don't like each other, and they would have to work together. And that's the problem. They were interfering with the Snyder Cut. I mean, yesterday, the day before, I found out, and I mean, it's been on the internet for a while apparently, that Ryan Reynolds and Wayne T. Carr were going to share a scene together as John Stewart and Hal Jordan, those two Green Lanterns. Amazing, right? And WB Pictures put the kibosh on it, which I think is ridiculous. And again, I don't know what they were up to. I know they're doing a Green Lantern Corps series, and maybe they think that would have clashed. But this is the multiverse after all, yeah, baby. So it would have been awesome. So that's tragic. I believe for the Snyderverse to be restored, that Zaslav and Discovery must remove Toby and Sarnoff and the people in charge over there at WB Pictures. And unfortunately, I mean, I respect Walter Hamada. I don't hate Walter Hamada like some people do. I'm a fan of the Snyderverse, but I don't hate him. But he's been involved. He's part of that anti-Snyder agenda. So if we're going to restore the Snyderverse, he has to go. WB Pictures also have to go. So if they were to go, and again, I mean, I just think it's too good to be true to imagine Zaslav and Discovery coming in and saying, right, I don't like your plans, you know, put everything on hold. It's not going to happen. Things have been delayed, and there's no question about, you know, Aquaman and the Lost Kingdom and The Flash have been delayed, and I think those two movies have been delayed for a reason, but especially the Flash movie. So I think Zaslav has something directly to do with that. I think Zaslav has seen the Flash movie, for sure. But I can't see a scenario where he comes in, he bins Emmerich, he bins Sarnoff, he bins Hamada, and they start from scratch with their own plans. That would be amazing. It really would, but I can't see that happening. So I can see a scenario where Zaslav comes in and says, right, Zach, let's restore this Snyderverse. And Zach goes, well, listen, I can't do anything till fall of 2023. And he goes, fine, you know, do what you have to do with Rebel Moon, and we'll see you in the new year, right? That would be amazing. But you still got two entities that don't want to work together. So if you get rid of Emmerich and Sarnoff and Hamada, their plan, what happens to their plan? This is why they did what they did. They put a plan, they put a multiverse strategy in full force. So it will be very difficult to take it down. This has been Hamada's and Emmerich's and Sarnoff play for a while now, for a year or so, maybe even 2 years, right? There's a plan there. So if Zaslav was to take down that plan, it will be a very gutsy move. So I don't know. I don't listen. I know things, people talk to me, but you're never sure. And let me tell you this, nobody really knows Zaslav's and Discovery's intentions here. We don't. As I say, he did say he moved to California, Hollywood, California, straight away. He started to make relationships with directors and actors. He wanted to get in there. He wanted to create a strong bond between himself and these creatives. He wanted a better relationship for the new Warner Discovery. And there's nothing wrong with that. And it's a great tactic. Now, whether that means that, you know, because he's not just spoken to directors and actors, he's gone from outside of Warner Brothers to talk to people and inside of Warner Brothers. So he'll know everything about Warner Brothers and the issues there. He'll know that. Now, I don't know if John Stankey even cared about the issues. Basically, AT&T were a bunch of desperados. They bought a huge studio company, and all they were interested in was making money. That's why they did Day and Date. They were just there for the money. Of course, Zaslav and Discovery want to make money, but they know they need foundations. Now, to build a new foundation, you have to explode. You have to destroy the foundations that are there before. Now, WB Pictures doesn't have huge foundations. They're not making much money from year to year. Compared to Disney, but compared to most, really, last year was a terrible year for Warner Brothers Pictures. So really, you would say, well, these people at WB Pictures shouldn't be in their job, should they? They shouldn't. So the key element for the future of DC live action is, what is Zaslav and Discovery going to do when they come in? And that's the big decision here. And, you know, they could come in and you could see urgent changes. Now, if he comes in and he does a press conference, that will be a very interesting press conference that I personally would be very interested in, and you should be too as DC fans and entertainment fans. What is he going to do? Is he going to make instant changes, or is he going to say, I'm here to work with Toby and Anne and Walter? If he says that, then the current DCEU plan stays, warts and all, and we see what happens. If he makes instant changes, that changes everything. It means he's going to evaluate the current state of the DCEU. He's going to look at their plans, and some of those plans may not happen. This has been Movies TV Man with me, Mick, your host with the most. Just ask your girlfriends and your wives. Please like, share, comment, subscribe. Hit the notification bell so you never miss this perfection. And I'll see you again tonight when I'm live. Movies TV Mad, live every single night. Do not miss it. If you haven't subscribed, please subscribe. If you have subscribed, make sure you're still subscribed. If you like me, like the video, please share, and I'll see you live tonight. Until we see each other again, goodbye, au revoir, auf Wiedersehen, see you tonight.